See what's all going on.
Just need that switched on. First of all, I'd like to acknowledge the Gadigal land on which
Good afternoon. So I'd like to acknowledge the land we're on today, the Gadigal land of the Eora Nation, and pay respects to our elders past and present.
Hello everyone. I'd like to pay my respects and acknowledge the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation as the traditional owners.
have good healthy relationships. Thanks, Claire.
livingdata.net.au. Animations have been made in the spirit of inclusion and cooperation, with everyone involved, creating part of an evolving bigger story about our relationship with nature. Treaties are agreements for growing and sharing knowledge for the common good. For tens of thousands of years, Aboriginal Australia was sustained by the spirit of inclusion and cooperation, with agreements reinforced between its peoples through song lines told in ceremonies. The same spirit of inclusion and cooperation is what drove the Antarctic Treaty. I'm not so naive as to believe that this spirit is not undermined by personal greed and institutionalised commercial seductions for us to work against and not with the laws of nature. My experience is that the arts and sciences have become institutionalised and commercialised, and that their success is measured in terms of notoriety and money. Well, watch out. Humanity is better than that. Truth-telling is better than that. Human culture is changing. The world is listening to the voices of the young, and to other people whose stories won't be muzzled. My experience is that many scientists, artists and Indigenous knowledge holders have sought anonymity, not notoriety and money, instead feeling driven to learn and tell stories for sustaining humanity, physically, biologically, spiritually. The time has come to speak out. Stories are now being told through inclusion and cooperation across generations, cultures and disciplines. And thanks to digital communication technology, stories can now seed treaties or agreements within ourselves and between ourselves to care for the natural world that sustains us.
Disruption of the current cycles and implementation of First Nations knowledge. Seeding Treaty. Barkindji story. Creation, growing, learning, teaching, sharing stories, transference of knowledge. The rainbow serpents follow the peewee to find a new home. As they follow the bird, they wriggle around, forming big bends and deep in the channel, forming the Darling River and letting the water flow in. Barkindji story. Creation, growing, learning, teaching, sharing stories, transference of knowledge. Symbolic narratives connecting the environment, the planet, our health, mental and physical. Fast forward to the now, naked, lifeless tracks that represent to me greed, power and ignorance and disregard for Indigenous knowledge. The Western systems in place exclude and categorise nature and place a hierarchy on all living things, and seem to be failing to acknowledge that without one we cannot have the other. More connection, conversation, and collaboration is needed to be able to have a valid voice to put forward.